Hi guys, I know it's getting close to the end of the school year and I didn't want to end this year without giving you a sculpture or a 3D assignment. And I know it can be challenging because we're all at home and we don't have all the art supplies that we would like to create a sculpture. But I made this one and I'm going to show you how to create a sculpture with things that you have around the house, okay? And I got my inspiration on the Pyramid Hill sculptures. If you live in Ohio, if you've been to downtown Cincinnati, there's a Pyramid Hill Park where we can see a lot of sculptures that are made kind of like of many different geometric shapes. And they're very modern looking, and some of them are, to me, look very clean and minimalist. But those are really fancy words. I'll show you how we can create. I took basically two pieces of cardboard box. And if you've been ordering online, if you're a big Amazon fan, yay. You can find a cardboard box around the house and you can just tear out the tops and work with that. Another thing that you can use is these little things. I bet you don't know what these are. Just kidding. I know we all have these at home, especially now that we're all living there together. Okay, so just a couple. I just used one, and I also saved this one, which is slightly thinner and thicker. This came inside a aluminum foil box, and all the foil was wrapped around it, and I thought, oh, that's pretty cool. I'm gonna save it for an art project. So this is, I'm just showing you how mine looks. If you go around and look, it looks a little fancy, but all it is all pieces of cardboard shapes. And some of these that I've used and cut and put together, you don't even need glue. You don't even need to paint it. If you don't have paint at home, it's fine. It can all be one color. I spray painted mine. But I'll give you an idea. If you have those small bottles of paint, craft paint, you can, and even tempera paint. Watercolor wouldn't work that well with this project because this absorbs the paint really fast and the water will make it flimsy. Okay, but if you don't have access to spray paint, and I'm giving all the grades this challenge from 1st grade to 12th grade, which is what I teach. Then everyone at your level, you can make it your own level. So I'm gonna show you right now how we can achieve some of these parts using cardboard box. So I'm gonna set this one right here, and I'm gonna move my camera a little bit over here. Great. So if you are in the lower grades, you wanna use a scissor, okay? If you have an X-Acto knife or something that you can use to make a sharp cut. If you're in the upper grades, like high school, maybe 8th grade too, you can use this. Be sure to ask your parents or an adult for supervision. But I'm just gonna use my scissors right now. So these are leftover pieces from this one, and this one's another part of a box, another lid of a box that came that's white. So I thought, oh, I'm gonna use that and show them how, if you don't have paint, you can still do something fun. So first we need to create geometric shapes. And with this one, with my sculpture, I just, you know, kept creating different shapes as I went, you know, as I was going. So first of all, here, maybe I'm gonna make a line for a triangle, and then maybe here, a square, kind of like a square shape. And now I'm gonna cut it. Just like that. I'm gonna cut here. Okay, so now I have 2 shapes already. I kind of like this curved. I used a curved piece right here. So I kind of like how this looks. I'm gonna use this one. And then maybe this one is bent in 2 spots. So I'm gonna go ahead and cut through those spots since they're already bent. And it creates 2 squares and a rectangle. Okay, so I think now we have, and these 2. So I think now we have enough pieces to start creating our sculpture. Okay, so what you wanna do to put all the pieces together is make them fit into each other, kind of like a puzzle. And to do that, you're just gonna kind of cut a slit. Now, if you're using thicker cardboard, you're gonna wanna cut a thicker piece, just like that, so that it fits perfect right there, okay? So I got my first piece right here. I don't know how it's gonna stand yet, okay? Maybe I want another one to fit over there. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna cut a slit right here and see. So this is fun because you kind of like start creating your piece as you go. And that's the fun part of it, okay? So I'm gonna play with that one right there. Okay, just like that. And then we have these. And if you want these to go into a piece, you will have to cut. If you're in the lower grades, you can certainly use glue instead of cutting the pieces. Or if you feel that you can get mom and dad to help or an older sibling, that would be great too. So now we've made it fit. Now it's starting to look 3D. I like how it's looking, okay? I think I want something right there. Kind of like to break that, kind of like, looks like the ceiling, the roof of a house. So I want to insert that piece there. So I'm gonna take my scissor and cut a slit. Okay, very nice. It's coming along. So I'm gonna move these some pieces that I'm not gonna end up using. Now, it would be cool if this one could go right through there. So for my upper grades, for my high school students and maybe middle school, what I'm gonna do is I am going to take this one out so I can cut a slit in the middle. And for that, I will use an X-Acto knife, okay? And so if I want this to go in there, I'm just gonna draw a line like that. And then make sure that you're cutting over a cutting board. I have granite, so it won't mess it up. But if you were my kid, I would tell you put something under it. So I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna set a good example. So now we've cut a slit there. I want to see the back. Okay, then start pulling out all the excess. Okay, so this one is gonna want to fit there, just like that. And then I'll put this one back in where it was originally. Ah, beautiful. So I'm gonna bring this down a little so you can actually see up close what it looks like. Okay, so there you have it. I've created a 3D sculpture using geometric shapes. If you want to put glue on the, all the places where they come together or where you cut the slits, you may. I put glue, I used a hot glue gun to glue mine. They won't come apart, but since I want to use it for other years to show my students how to make it and how it would look, then I decided I'm just gonna hot glue it. But let me show you. Okay, it goes around. And I'm gonna show you the one I just made. Okay, and you can decide how many pieces yours is gonna have. and if you want to paint it or not, okay? Be creative, have fun. If you're in one of my classes, we'll be attaching the link so that you can take a look at the pictures at the Pyramid Hill Park here in Cincinnati and maybe get some ideas, some inspiration. Their sculptures are very colorful, so we have a lot of yellows and red and whites, and so if you want to paint or if you want to spray paint, that'll be fine. Have fun.